Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to make jawar rotis. This is how we make them. This is how I learned from one of my Maharashtrian helpers who used to come and cook for us. And I have got 1 cup of atta over here. This is the jawar atta. I'm going to take it out and we are not going to use any oil at all. I'm going to switch this gas on and we will, maybe this one, I'm going to switch this gas on and we'll boil this water very well, like really piping hot, and then I am going to use the back of a spoon, the back of this spoon, to mix it, because if it is so hot it's not possible to mix the atta with your hand. Okay, so first we'll boil this water very well. I'm just covering it for a few minutes so that it boil faster. So jawar roti has no gluten, and that is why we have to do it in a slightly different fashion from how we do wheat rotis. Wheat rotis, there is a lot of gluten, so there is a lot of elasticity, and it's easy then to roll them also, and it is easy to make them also. Yeah, but here we don't have that in jawar, so we are going to have to use very hot water to make the dough first. I'm just making enough for 4 rotis. I have taken 1 cup. I usually make 4 rotis out of 1 cup. Sometimes if the rotis I need are small, then I can make up to 5 rotis, but usually you will get 4 rotis out of 1 cup. Okay, let's see if the water is just about starting to boil. I'm going to keep it covered for a little bit so that it's nice and piping hot. So we all eat a lot of jawar, bajra. In fact, there is one bajra roti which is very thin. From where I come in Gujarat from, in Mangrol, over there we make very thin jawar rotis, and these jawar rotis are bajra rotis, we call them khakro, but it is soft. It is not like a crisp khakra. It's a very soft kind of thin roti, and it's very nice. Okay, so the water is almost boiling. I'm going to just wait till it starts bubbling and then I will put it in this. So I'll just spread this atta out a little bit, and you'll see you don't have to put too much water. You're not going to make the atta with this water. We're just going to add a little bit of water so that it just kind of gets lumpy. You will see how it looks. Okay, now the water is just about started to boil. I'm just going to wait a few seconds more and then we can take it. You can see it's bubbling. Okay, so there seems to be something. Okay, so here is the water. Now it started bubbling. I'm just going to use it straight away. I'm going to switch the gas off and take this water and just pour a little bit and move it around. Just pour a little bit and move it around. Okay, and then just again pour a little bit and move it around. Now I don't want to overdo the water because I cannot make out right now whether this is enough water or not. I might need more water, but I can always add this water a little later after it has cooled down and I'm able to touch it. But I think I can do a little bit more. This is one of my favorite kadhais. It's made out of mud, and I practically do all my veggies in this. Sometimes I even do I not sometimes, but I always do my rice, and I also do my millets in this. Okay, I think this is enough water now. I'm not going to use more because I can always use it later, but otherwise I might have to then add more flour to it. See, can you see the lumps? See how lumpy it has become? So this is how it should become, and I think it is very hot. For me it is very hot, so I will not touch it. But if you feel that you can handle this much heat, you can just start mixing with your hand. Okay, but I think it is pretty hot. So this is nice to do it in the winters, then you don't mind touching it. Yeah, it is hot, still little hot, but doable. Then you can do it. This will take a little bit more water, so I'm just going to add some little bit more water because it's pretty dry. Okay, now actually even the atta will matter. Sometimes you get very rough, so very thick or coarse jawar atta, in which case you might have to kind of knead it a little more, but that's okay. You'll manage, because when you do this, if you want those very thin chapati type of rotis, you can even do that, but for that you would have to use very fine atta. You cannot take the coarsely ground atta. Okay, so if you take it very fine, then only you will be able to do it. This is still pretty hot. I'm able to do this much, but I'm doing it gently and slowly so that I don't burn myself. Okay, this is pretty hot even now, but I'll just do a little at a time and keep moving it so that it cools down. Okay, now in the meantime I'm going to put the tawa on, and I'll put it on a slightly slower flame right now, so that by the time the atta is made, I'm ready to do it, ready to make the rotis. And the gas is the tawa is hot, but it's not very hot. Okay, now this tawa is also made of mud. So for the mitti ka tawas, you need a higher temperature. So most of the times when I'm doing rotis, it's closer to the highest temperature, because it holds that heat. Yeah, see, now it's coming together and I think it's soft, but we might add a little bit of water. I'm going to add it with a spoonful because I don't want too much. Okay, I just need little more water, because if I add too much, it's going to become too soft, and I don't want that very soft atta also. Okay, can you see this now? I'm just going to keep on kneading it a little bit, because when you knead it, it kind of gives that it almost kind of releases uh, glutinous stringy kind of thing to it, and then it becomes more easy to manage. The atta becomes more easy to manage. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the rotis by hand with kind of patting it down on the patla. So I've been doing so much of these rotis that now I feel I can manage it very well. So even you guys should practice how to do it. The first couple of times it might not come out the way you like to have it, but slowly it's almost like you practice it, and then you get the rotis become nice and round, and also they will become like little balloons. Okay, so I'm going to cut it in, divide it into 4. I'm going to make big rotis. Okay, this is a little too big, so we'll add it here, and here this is also a little bigger. So we've got 4 balls, and ideally you should eat one roti like this, and it should be enough. But if you feel that you need more, please go ahead and eat more. Now I'm going to put this over here, right here. I'll see, you'll see why. Okay, actually this is a little hot. I'm just going to pour some plain water in it because it's very very hot for me. I'm going to use it to put it on top of the rotis. Okay, now we'll leave this here, but I want to cover it. So I'm going to cover this and keep, and I'm going to knead this a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to knead it like this only, not doing anything much. Okay, now see, here I have my rotika atta. I'm going to dip it in the plain flour. Below this I have put my brown paper. You know, sometimes there are these torn brown paper bags, so I use these brown paper bags. So this is a little bit hard, but let me do this one with it being this hard also. Actually, when you're starting off, might be a good idea to do it with this hard, so that you can pat it to whatever shape, the round shape properly. If it's too soft, you might not be able to make it. Okay, you don't have to put too much atta. We want just enough so that it does not stick to the hand. But if you put too much, it is not going to work. I'm going to make this a little higher. The flame is this much. Also, the trick to make it kind of become like a little balloon is to turn it in the right time. I'll show you how to do that. You don't want to keep it on the gas too long and get burn marks. Okay, now this is done. It's a slightly thickish roti, but it's okay. So initially you can keep it this tight, the atta, not make it too soft. Once you get the hang of doing it, then maybe it might be a good idea to use a, so this here it goes, and now we are going to put some water on this and spread it like this all over it. Okay, so this is normally so that this part of the thing doesn't get cracks. Okay, I'm going to kind of add a little bit of water to this one and make it softer. I just want you to see how easy it becomes to make the roti if it's softer. Yeah, so there is a softer atta now. I'm just going to add a little more water to make it really nice and soft, so that it's not an effort to make the roti. It just kind of happens. Okay, now it's almost dried. If you can see, the water has almost dried. Yes, now we are going to turn this one around. Just wait, just half a minute more, and I'm going to turn it around. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around, and there it is. Now it will just seko a little more. In the meantime, I will quickly make this roti. Can you, I think I'm going to just move this around a little bit so that you can see the roti that I'm making. Just keep on patting it on the edges and keep on growing it. Okay, now this one needs to be turned around. So I'm going to pick it up with a chimta and put it on here. And see, now it is becoming like a little ball. Okay, can you see the ball? So this is getting done very nicely. You just seko it how you like to. Just roast it a little nicely and your roti is done. Okay, I'm just going to put it on a napkin. Don't keep it down straight. So this one roti is done. Just remove these little things that are stuck of the earlier roti, and the gas can be slightly less, and I need to make the roti. So if it is tearing anywhere, just kind of put it together. I think this is better now. We are going to just pick it up, remove the excess flour from here, put it here and put some water over it so that this side will not get any cracks. See, if you can see the roti really up close, you can see that there are no cracks really. Okay, there. Now I think I want to show you, I'm just going to make this again a little softer with some water in it, and I want to show you a video of how to do it with a belan. You can even actually belo out these rotis pretty well. So I'm going to show you how to do with the belan also. And even though this atta is a little thickish, but that's okay, doesn't matter. No, there is still water on this, so I'm not going to touch it and not going to turn it yet. Let it get a little cook and then we'll turn it. So here is my belan. I'm going to belo this roti out and show it to you, just like you would belo any other roti. And it will move also and it will happen also. It won't become too thick or thin. Okay, let's now see if this can be turned. Yep, this is ready to be turned, but it has got a little stuck on one side over here, but that's okay. Now we turn it around and we'll cook it a little longer. And the other side also. See, initially you may not want to make it into a very thin chapati type of thing, because it might be thick somewhere and thin somewhere, but you can do this over time. With practice you will get it. Okay, so just do it every day. Have a gluten-free roti for lunch or dinner or both every day. Have a millet roti, and it will not only be good for your health but also good for the environment and generally good for everybody. I'm going to turn it around and let's hope it follows. Yes, there it is. Can you see how nicely it is turning around, becoming like a little ball? So you just hold it in the right place so that the air cannot escape for it to become like a little ball. Okay, there you go. There is your little ball of a roti. And I'm going to again remove all this. Remove it here. You can just wipe it off a little bit if you feel that it's sticking too much. And now this is I have done it with a belan. You just saw that I did it with a belan. Now we're going to put this here, put that little bit of water all over it so that there are no cracks in the roti on either side. It just needs to be cooled once so that there are no cracks. Okay, and now should I do one more roti with doing just the belan? I'll do it with the belan now, but I need to make it a little softer. I made the atta a little too hard, but it's always okay. You can always just add some more water and make it into a softer atta. Okay, I'm just taking all this also in and just knead it a little bit. You don't have to knead it on this thing. You can even knead it with your hand like this. My Sakubai used to do it like this only. And she used to make garam, hot jawarachi bhakri, she used to call it. She used to say jawarachi rotli naste, jawarachi bhakri. So you have to eat jawar bhakris. We'll just turn this one around. There. So you see, it's not going to get some major blisters like the other roti gets. Okay, so you just have to see that it does not get too dark. Only that water should dry up before you turn it around, because if the water has not dried up, it will stick onto the other side and it will get stuck over there and you'll get a hole in the middle of your roti. Okay, so just make sure that it's not wet. The roti should not be wet. Okay, now we'll just pick it up and put it on the gas and just seko it like your rotis.